What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz just after 2 o'clock in the afternoon outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Last trade on Muln, 1825 MCOM 0216. The obvious question of this day is, why in the world did I sell 20% of both of those names for tax purposes? What are the other 7 that I currently own? And why am I convinced that you, yes, you, and I can make an absolute fortune in the next several weeks, months, years, and beyond all that and more? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back from the chiropractor. Shout out to the nearly 400 of you that are inside of the Discord. Doing just fucking fine without me. I'm so proud of you guys and gals in there buying 2 or 3 of our stocks, loaded to the gills in 7 other names outside of those 2 that we've been choking on for the last several months. But as you can imagine, the haters are going to be out in force today. So I need everybody to please give me a thumbs up. Share this video with everyone you know. This is probably the last one of the week. The next one's going to be the short welcome video that's no more than 10 minutes long. It'll tell you 90% of what you need to know inside of the Discord to be an insanely successful trader. But I want to start off with a disclaimer. Past performance is no guarantee of prior results. Always consult your financial advisor and never, ever, ever invest more than 10% or thereabouts in an idea and no more than you can ever afford to lose. If you didn't hear what I just fucking said, read it or watch it 4 or 5 times. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have been waiting for this day, believe it or not, for at least a month and a half or 2. Inside of the Discord, I've been preparing people by saying, look, you don't have to sell it all. Sell 10% of these 2. See how it feels. Feels good? Sell 10% more. Some got out at 24, 25, 22. They've gotten into 6 or 7 other names that we've had. Do you know, before the haters chime in, give me some fucking thumbs down, you snowflakes. You beta males that got pronouns, I want some fucking thumbs down. The rest of you, please share this everywhere because you need to understand what goes on here. And it's as much here as it is here. So let's get this straight right out of the gate. I love you with all my heart and soul. I appreciate you. You're $50 or $60 a month if you're a small business owner that's got a premium at trysmallbiz.com. I love you. I'm here to help you. And the slapping around that you've had to see me do in the last 10 days was necessary. I can smell a rat a mile away. There are certain people that are not acclimated to a group chat. They can't handle volatility. The idea, the notion of their 10 grand turning into 7 grand scares them to fucking death. So they had to be pushed out or walked out or thrown out the fucking door. I can say with only 1 or 2 exceptions, the list that we have right now, which again is close to 400, is amazing. They're from all over the world: France, Germany, Bolivia, Chile, the United States, Canada, England, Ireland. I could keep going, and they're amazing. They understand that we buy the dip, we sell the rip. We buy the fear, we sell the greed. We buy red, we sell fucking green. When your nuts, fellas, are the size of a grain of sand on the beach, you fucking buy the stock like we were today. But for those of you that are scratching your head or you still got your unlubricated thumb up your fucking ass, wondering how does the biggest cheerleader, arguably, for these 2 stocks over the last 6 months sell it? Answer: in the last 12 days, yes, this many days, 12 days, we've racked up 6 winners for 164% returns. We had a stock that we bought yesterday or the day before at 17 cents. It was cranking at 45 in the early pre-em at 4:30 in the morning, right? You probably know what I'm talking about. Starts with H as in Harry. We were getting out last night and today in the low to mid 20s. Some people, of course, were like, oh, God, the FOMO. Oh, it doubled after we sold it. And then timber. Right? Some asshole got cut in half and then some. The stock ended up going from 45 all the way down to 15 or 16 and change. Last trade 17 3/4, which is where we own it. Again, you tell me, honestly, in the comments, if you had 6 winners for 164%, if you were loaded up as we are right now in 3 biotechs that were even money on, one's at 17, one's at 18, and the other one's at 54.5 cents, how would you feel? How would you feel finally letting go of a quarter, a tenth, or in my case, 20% of what's been weighing you down? I wanted the lowest price. I sold around 18 and around 0211 or something like that. I wanted the lowest price. Last year, we had 27 winners in a row in the summer. Those of you that were following me on Twitter know exactly what I'm talking about. The S&P was in free fall. It was the worst first half of the year since 1970, and we were printing money like it was going out of fucking style. And my accountant called me at the end of the year, and he says, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "You owe a tremendous amount of money to the government." And I'd never, full disclosure, written them more than $7,000 or $8,000. Add another zero to that. It was almost $100,000. And I was like, he goes, "Well, you got a choice. You can pay it now," which was half of my liquidity, "or you could go on a payment plan." So I paid it, and I was insanely fucking frustrated and depressed. And he kept saying to me, "Don't you have some losses to offset this?" I said, "No, we started a trading program and it's been fucking in fuego." Fast forward to this year, 52 and fucking 3 since April. Massive triple digit gains. But here I have these two dogs that I'm down 70% on, like many of you. And instead of selling it all, and I'm good with what I got now, I've got no problem hanging on to the remaining 80%. But that 20% that I sold for about a 72% loss in both cases nearly wiped out my capital gains bill for the last 6 months, which means I get to keep most, if not all, of my money. And as many of you know, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. You don't want to be sending money to the government so they can fucking send it overseas and launder it through some fucking outfit into the hidden hand. You don't want that. So for all you that keep telling me, and for the love of God, you need to get over this, and I'm trying to set an example today. And if I didn't mention it already, please give it a thumbs up and share it everywhere, especially if you got friends that are choking on fear. You know, one of the greatest things about the Discord is you're not alone. You're not alone. A lot of people get locked up in a room or they're on a fucking computer and they just lose their fucking mind. You got guys like myself and many others, some of which are insanely huge, way bigger than I am. You wouldn't even know they were that fucking big, but they get people to relax. They may tell you a joke. You settle down. You get it through your head that you're not alone. We rise, we fall together. And if you stick around me enough, you know I'm right about 80 to 90 some odd percent of the time. But let's lower it to 80. Let's lower it to fucking 70, which I haven't had in years in terms of a low win rate like that. If you're up 30 on profits 70% of the time and you're down 18, let's call it 20%, 30% of the time, you're ringing the fucking register. Do you know that only 10% of investors / fund managers beat the market every single year? We're killing the market. Even if I sold all of these two and then another stock I'm down 25, 30% on, I'd still be up over 1,000% in the last 18 months. During that same time period, to be exact, the S&P is up 7.9, call it 8%. The IWM is down 2%. In other words, the buy and hold investor, which I think is very important, as much as 80% of your money should be in an index fund or an ETF. You buy and hold for retirement, and then you double down every 2.5 years during a bear market. The other 20 or 30%, in most cases max, you roll the dice. But unlike Vegas, you're not going to leave the Discord with me with none of your money. You go to Vegas, you're not coming out with any. You bet like some of these clowns do at these sports bars. They go up and then they fucking lose it all. But if you can get it through your head that once or twice a year, that 10 grand is going to be 7 on paper, that 100 grand is going to be 70 on paper. But because we're diversified and currently we have 9 stocks, I normally have about 7 or 8. We're not going to get fucking wiped out. In fact, not only did we just eliminate most of our tax bill and just get into 2 or 3 stocks that we're even money on that are fucking white lightning, trading millions of shares with volatility that goes from 17 to 45 back to 16 back to where? I don't know. But if it's 25 or 30, you can bet fucking ching, we're ringing the register on that one. In closing, you're not alone. I've made and lost millions. From 93 to 2007, I was a broker. I was living La Vida Loca in South Florida. I had about 40 accredited investors. That's millionaire for short. I made a bloody fucking fortune, and then I blew myself up in that case with options. Don't trade on margin, don't trade options. 90% fail. But after 30 years, I have figured out how to buy penny stocks under $1 that in many cases are down up to 99% or more, and they've got some sort of setup. They're washed out from 30, they bounce at a dime, they go to a quarter, and then they pull back. Just like these two fucking biotechs. The bottom looks to be in, they're down 99% plus from their highs, and they're trading 10 to as much as 30 million shares a fucking day. That's when you get in. You buy the dip, you sell the rip generally in about a month, but the last 6 winners, where we've made 164%, which wiped out virtually the entire loss in those 2 fucking pigs that I was talking about. They only took 2 or 3 days. So if you can get it through your head that this guy and many others, whales that are swinging 50 to 75 grand per idea, some of which will speak up, others of which will not. We've been there and fucking done that. There's life beyond these stocks. Stop fucking telling yourself, oh, I'm in too deep now, I can't sell. You've got tax loss benefits. Imagine if you had a half a dozen winners like we have in the last 12 days. Go back 2.5 months, it's over 30 winners in the core as well as the adjacent stocks. But let's say it's just the last 12 days. You tell me, 6 winners for 164, is that going to help you sleep better at night? Fuck yeah. Is that going to help you wipe out most, if not of all of your Muln and or Mcom? Fuck yeah. And then you've got me and 500 others. We're hitting 400 today as we speak. If you want one of the 100 remaining, it's trysmallbiz.com. We're going to make a fucking fortune. We're going to get together for a cruise out of Miami. We're going to roll dice in Vegas, whether it's every year or every other year, hopefully starting next or the year after at the latest. Get yourself in that motherfucking Discord. Give me a chance. There's life beyond those 2 fucking pigs. We can make up most, if not all, the goddamn loss before the end of the year. And until next time, always remember that I love you. I really do. And thanks for watching. Let's motherfucking go.